Om Shanti. Um, I would say there is the real meaning of real Purusharth is that the soul is absolutely aware of its fact that it is beyond all the parts, beyond the entire script in the mind, and the being is absolutely untouched by any fixed scripted story that is recorded within itself. Right? That is the fact. And the Purusharth is nothing other than the fact that once I, the being, am so clear about my truth, which is karmatit, now what happens is the mind and the body is now beginning to realign with this truth of who you are. So it is truly the Purusharth is to be Purush Arth mein sthit rehna, is to be the karmatit being that you are. Like, you know how Brahma Baba in the Murli it said that he would, from his perfect form, he would see his effort making form. But I'm not the effort maker, I'm the observer of the effort maker. Right? And the effort maker is the one who is constantly seeking God, who's constantly looking for God. And that is nothing but just a combination of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And that creates this personal, separate self identity, and which is labeled in my case Rini. But there's nothing wrong with this part. But the thing is, when I believe myself to be, as we always give an example of Iqbal, and forgetting that I am Amitabh, then it is more like I start to see myself as something I am not. So that is why it's very important for the being. And I don't like to use the word Iqbal because Iqbal is nothing other than the culmination of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So if Amitabh is playing the part of Iqbal, it's like literally whilst he's playing, he's embodying the feelings, thoughts, and emotions of that character in the movie. But that is just imagination in his mind in the form of thoughts, feelings, emotions. So he's watching from inside as though he's aware. See, it's like behind the mask of these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. He's very aware that he's none of these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. But he is completely separate from them. Something very similar, that I, the being, am very, very different from the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are spontaneously arising in my mind from the old script. Once that is very, very clear, then the whole life is life of self-observation and self-introspection. And it's a lot of fun and a joyous thing to see from one's perfection, like to see as Baba knows me as a karmatit soul who's seeing these thoughts, feelings, and emotions coming up to the surface of the mind. But to be able to see that and see that as something which is just part of the scripted mind speaking. But what happens is because there's a lot of identity that is strongly associated with these thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So then they feel like me and mine, and then there is another part of my spiritual mind which wants to get rid of those thoughts, feelings, and emotions because they don't feel wholesome or holistic. They feel very, what would you say? They feel very vicious or negative or waste. That's how it labels, no? The mind labels it. So best is to know that my truth is absolutely beyond these thoughts, feelings, and emotions, which has created a personal character identity. But I am absolutely beyond these thoughts, feelings, emotions, and sanskars, and memories, and moods of the mind. And my truth is already karmatit. So this is really the real effort, is to be who you are, the truth of who I am, and then from there being able to see these moods, memories, ideas, emotions, concepts of the mind from a distance, and when I see them from a distance, then they can't influence me. I'm not there to correct them, to fix them, to change them. No, my interest is just I acknowledge them, of course, so that I am not deceived by these emotions, thoughts, and feelings. But at the same time, I turn towards my truth, knowing I am already that karmatit soul that is seeing all of this with no sense of me or mine with it, right? And I just look at Baba, and when I look at Baba, he's the mirror for me, and I can see that I am absolutely thoughtless. Even all these thoughts which are trying to fix other thoughts, which are battling with other thoughts, which are giving up on other thoughts, this whole game of the mind, I'm simply a pure witness of. None of these thoughts, feelings, emotions has any power to define my silent truth. In fact, the silence of the soul cannot be defined in words, but these words kind of become a pointer towards the being that is wordless and thoughtless. So this is really, I would say, to know that one's truth is constantly changeless, and I'm aware of the ever-changing feelings, thoughts, and emotions. And to be honest, interest is not there much in the outside scene because the outside scene is quite lifeless. So personally, over here, for the being that I am, I don't have much interest in what is happening in the scene, but my interest is what is happening in my mind in that scene, and what is my truth from where I'm seeing it with Baba, so that no inner feelings, emotions, thoughts can even in the subtle form, can influence my truth of just being true, constant, unchanging peace, not the fake peace of the mind which is temporary, or the peacelessness of the mind which is temporary. So really just being who I am. I'm a karmatit soul. Even now when I'm speaking and sharing this message, I'm a karmatit soul combined with God, checking internally if there's any other kind of feeling at the same time. If it's not there, that's fine. If it's there, that's fine also, because I'm not associating with it. So really keeping one's truth very clear with Baba, at the same time aware of any uncleanliness at the level of the mind, and then action happens on its own from that space. So your interest is not how to speak, how to think, or how to act, but it is who am I that is seeing all of this activity of the mind, and with whom am I seeing it, and as who am I seeing it? Yeah, because I would say majority of the time our attention is how to deliver some message, or how to speak, or how to act. Then we kind of lose touch with my truth and what is happening as an underlying subtle activity in the mind, which is easily getting mixed otherwise in our pure sense of who I am. So that is our entire Purusharth is I'm a karmatit being, not becoming one, not needing to become one. I just am. I am like my Father. And then from there, I'm able to see the mixing of the feelings which want to get mixed with my truth, but they can't. Of course they can't. But at least I can see them from a distance. Then action comes, that which is the right action will happen from there on its own.